The presentation starts. Pin your screen.
Start.
Yeah. Good morning to one and all. Myself Chandrakala, Head of the Department of Botany from SJRCW. On behalf of SJR Education Society and SJR College for Women, I would like to welcome you all and thank you for joining with us for this fourth day of multidisciplinary 5-day International Faculty Development Program on Perspectives of Human Health and Environment, organized by Science Forum Scientia.
Anusha, can you call Chandrakala madam?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm just calling her. Some network issues, I guess. 1 minute.
You are lucky if everything goes well, always. We are experiencing very well.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Someone have called, I might think so. Gayatri, ma'am?
Hello, Anusha.
Ma'am, shall I stop the recording and start from first?
Yeah, you stop. Yes, yes.
Yeah. ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ಗೆ ಬಿಸಿ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ.
ಮಂಜುಳಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರಾ ಕೇಳಿ?
ಮೇಡಮ್ ನನಗೂ ಲೈನ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
ಮಾಡಿ.
ಮಂಜುಳಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಶೆಲ್ ಐ ಟ್ರೈ?
ಟ್ರೈ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
Ma'am, some network issue. Network issue anta. She'll be within 1 minute. Ma'am, I did already. She'll be back in a minute itself. Some network issue. She told she'll be back in a minute.
Hello ma'am, I called her. She will join. Join ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ.
ಓಕೆ, ಅಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ನೀವು ಮಂಜುಳಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು.
ಹೌದಾ, ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರು ಈಗ. ವಿಲ್ ವೇಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ 2 minutes.
ನೋಡಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ನೋಡಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಮಂಜುಳಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಓಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
No, madam, we will do. I think if she doesn't, I will carry on. ಯಾಕೋ ಚಂದ್ರಕಲಾ ಫೋನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ನೋಡು ಅಪ್ಪನ್.
ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಹಾ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ. ಮಂಜುಳಾ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲ್
ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ
ಚಂದ್ರಕಲಾ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ.
ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಮ್ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿರಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಏನೋ.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್
Okay,
ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ದ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್, ವೇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ವೈಲ್.
ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಚಂದ್ರಕಲಾ ಮಂಜುಳಾ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಚಂದ್ರಕಲಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಕೇಮ್.
ಓಕೆ.
ಬಂದ್ರು.
1 minute, I'll just start the recording. Shall I start, ma'am?
Yes.
ಚಂದ್ರಕಲಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಚಂದ್ರಕಲಾ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ತಿರ್ಗಾ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಲಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
Am I audible now?
ತೊಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್
ಬಂದ್ರು.
ರೆಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಬಂದಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ.
Sorry, madam, there was some network issue. I'm really sorry. Am I audible now?
One minute,
madam.
1 minute.
Madam?
Yeah, you are audible.
Madam, am I audible now?
ಆಡಿಬಲ್ ಮೇಡಮ್. ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ.
ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಡಿಬಲ್.
Okay, madam. Sorry, there was some network reach. Good morning to one and all.
Start.
Okay. Good morning to one and all. Myself, Chandrakala, Head of the Department of Botany from SJRCW. On behalf of SJR Education Society and SJR College for Women, I would like to welcome you all and thank you for joining us for this 4th day of Multidisciplinary 5-day International Faculty Development Program on Perspectives of Human Health and Environment, organized by Science Forum Scientia of SJR College for Women, Bengaluru. Sri Jagadguru Renukacharya College for Women is accredited with A grade by NAC. The institution serves to empower women students and enable them to acquire skills for a better future. Today's topic for the session is Plant Science Opportunities and Path to Succeed. Earth may be the only place in the universe with life. If so, we may owe it all to the plants. They have given life on Earth, food, shelter, and oxygen for billions of years. Their incredible biodiversity and their awesome beauty have no equal on Earth. They feed the world. All our energy comes from plants, and so it is the start of the food chain. 80% of the world's population rely on plants for various purposes. So the importance of plants cannot be underestimated. It is estimated we have to increase our agricultural production twice as much as food we may need in the next 30 years. The amount of land used to grow crops is rapidly shrinking. Global warming, desertification, urbanization are the main reasons. In such scenario, everyone has to. Plant sciences forms the building block of today's society and creates a delicate balance for all mankind. Hopefully, every human being realizes the significance of plant science and biodiversity. Today's session gives a bird's eye view on plant sciences, their opportunities, and how to succeed in it. I'm sure that today's session will be useful and thought-provoking to all participants. With this introductory note, on behalf of SJR Education Society and SJR College for Women, I take this opportunity to welcome today's resource person, Dr. Girigowda Chaluvaraju sir, an eminent botanist from Global Head Vegetable Seed Production at BASF, Hyderabad, Telangana. We welcome you, sir, to today's session and look forward to hear from you, sir. On behalf of SJRCW, I extend our warm welcome to SJR Education Society President, Sri Shivprakash sir, Secretary of SJRES, Shri N.R. Nandish sir, and Treasurer, Shri Natraj sir. I take this opportunity to welcome Srimati Naumani Madam, Principal of SJRPU College, Bengaluru. Welcome you, ma'am. It's my pleasure to welcome our beloved Principal Madam, Dr. Prema Siddharaju. Welcome you, Madam. I also extend our warm welcome to all faculties from sister institutions and other institutions across the country to this FDP program. Now I request Madam Gayatri, Assistant Professor from Department of Botany, to introduce today's resource person. Over to Gayatri, Madam. Gayatri, Madam.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Chandrakala Madam. Good morning, sir. It's my proud privilege to introduce you to this international webinar. Dr. Girigowda Chaluvaraju, Global Head Vegetable Seed Production at BASF, Hyderabad, Telangana, has achieved great heights in his career with social responsibility. Sir obtained his PG degree in Botany, Mysore University 1996, MPhil 1997, PhD 2002 from the Department of Applied Botany, Mysore University. Sir has to his credit 9 publications, and from 1997 to 2003 served as with 6 years research project experience, senior technical assistant, senior research fellow, and skilled helper, ICAR project. Sir also has experience with reference to research and study, which includes coordinated research activities in the areas of application research of screening genetic resources for disease resistance, development of non-conventional disease management method, research project coordination of multiple locations and laboratories. Sir, skills also include biotechnology, microbiology, seed industry, seed production, sustainable agriculture, organic farming, plant protection, farming, quality assurance, research, team management, agrochemicals, and business strategy. We are very proud of you, sir. Sir's professional responsibilities also include from 2003 to 2007, Seed Health Manager at Bayer, 2007 to 2011, Regional Head of Quality Assurance at Bayer, 2011 to 2016, Regional Head of Production at Bayer, and from 2016 at BASF, Vegetable Seeds as Global Head of Production. Sir has developed and executed a production strategy, virtual management of the team, comprising 4 strategy managers in 5 regions throughout the world, including India, Indonesia, Thailand, China, Europe, Africa, Israel, Northern America, mainly USA, and South America, Chile, Peru, and Argentina. Sir's research experience includes 7 years seed industry experience with blend of leadership and execution, and 6 years of academic research experience. At present, senior leader in agriculture industry and seed business, a respected agriculture professional with extensive experience leading global operations. Sir has a proven track record in guiding multicultural cross-functional teams in strategy, planning and execution of innovative, effective and efficient solutions, and high performance. Expert in various agricultural aspects of crop management. Sir's hobbies also include exploring new cultures, mentoring young people, agricultural experimentation, literature, and current affairs. It also includes writing and reading, non-fictions, writing short poems in his mother tongue. And sir is proud to also tell about his better Purnima Gowda and 2 daughters. And we welcome you, sir, who has achieved such great heights in his career. We welcome you, sir, for this session. Over to you, sir. Chaluvaraju, sir.
Thank you, Gayatri, Madam. Now I request our beloved Principal, Dr. Prema Siddharaju, Madam, to deliver keynote address. Over to Prema, Madam. Madam.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಮೇಡಮ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆ?
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಶ್ರೀ ರೇಣುಕಾಚಾರ್ಯ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಪದವಿ ಕಾಲೇಜು ಆಯೋಜಿಸಿರುವಂತಹ 5 ದಿನಗಳ FDP ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಂನ 4ನೇ ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇದೀವಿ. ಈ ದಿವಸ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಸಸ್ಯಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಜ್ಞರು ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಗಿರಿಗೌಡ ಚಲುವರಾಜು ಅವರು ತೆಲಂಗಾಣದ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ನಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿಯಾದಂತ ವಿಚಾರ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಗಿರಿಗೌಡ ಚಲುವರಾಜು ಅವರೇ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆಯನ್ನ ವಹಿಸಿರುವಂತಹ SJR ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಅಂಗಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಾದಂತಹ SJR ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ PU ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಾದಂತಹ ನವಮಣಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರೇ, ಪ್ರಪಂಚದ ಮೂಲೆ ಮೂಲೆಗಳಿಂದ ಈ ಒಂದು ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿರುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕ ಮಿತ್ರರುಗಳೇ ಹಾಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಸಹೋದ್ಯೋಗಿ ಮಿತ್ರರೇ, ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ಸಂಶೋಧನಾ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿಯರೇ, ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷವಾದ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಗಿರಿಗೌಡ ಸರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ದೇಶ ಸುಭದ್ರವಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ದೇಶ ತಾನು ತಿನ್ನಬೇಕಾದಂತ ಆಹಾರ ಪದಾರ್ಥವನ್ನ ತಾನೇ ಬೆಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಡೀ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ತಾನು ಒಂದು ಬಲಿಷ್ಠ ದೇಶ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಥ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳು ಯಾವ ಬೆಳೆಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಗಟ್ಟಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾಗಿ ಸುಭದ್ರವಾಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ವಿಚಾರಕ್ಕೆ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಹೊಸ ತಳಿಗಳನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಇರುವ ಭೂಮಿ ದೊಡ್ಡದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಭಾರತ ದೇಶದ ಏನು ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಸ್ತೀರ್ಣ ಇದೆ, ದೊಡ್ಡದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ವಿಸ್ತೀರ್ಣದಲ್ಲೇನೆ ನಾವು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದ ಬೆಳೆಗಳನ್ನ, ಆಹಾರ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಬೆಳಿಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಅರಣ್ಯ ಸಂಪತ್ತನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು, ಈಗಾಗ್ಲೇ ನಾಶವಾಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದನ್ನ ಮತ್ತಷ್ಟು ವೃದ್ಧಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇರುವ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಗೆ, ಈ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಸರ ಮತ್ತು ಸಸ್ಯ ಆಹಾರ ಇವುಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಗಿರಿಗೌಡ ಅಂತಹ ವಿಶೇಷ ತಜ್ಞರು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತೊಡಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹುಶಃ ಈ ನಗರದ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 30-40 30-40 ಸೈಟ್ ಮನೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆ ಟೆರೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆನೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಟೆರೇಸ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಒಂದು ಕುಟುಂಬ 4-5 ಜನ ಇರೋಂತ ಒಂದು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ, ಪುಟ್ಟ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ತರಕಾರಿಯನ್ನ, ಸೊಪ್ಪುಗಳನ್ನ, ಹಣ್ಣುಗಳನ್ನ, ಮನೆಗ್ ಬೇಕಾದಂತ ಹೂವುಗಳನ್ನ ಆ ಒಂದ್ 30-40 ಸೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಹೇಗ್ ಬೆಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು ಟೆರೇಸ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಅಥವಾ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಬೆಳೆಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಪಾಟ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಅಥವಾ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಮೇಲೇನೆ ನಾವು ಕೆಲವೊಂದನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಬೆಳಿಬಹುದು. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ನಗರ ಪ್ರದೇಶಕ್ಕೂ ಮತ್ತು ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಪ್ರದೇಶಕ್ಕೂ ಅನುಕೂಲವಾಗುವಂತಹ ಹಲವಾರು ಯೋಜನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ತಜ್ಞರುಗಳು ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆಗಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲೇ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ದಾಪುಗಾಲಿಟ್ಟವರು ಜಪಾನ್ನವರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಬೋನ್ಸಾಯಿ ಅಂತಹ ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷ ಬೆಳೆಯನ್ನ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದು ಪಾಟ್ಗಳಲ್ಲೇ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಹಣ್ಣುಗಳನ್ನ, ತರಕಾರಿಗಳನ್ನ, ಇವುಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳೆಯುವಂತದ್ದು ಸುಮಾರು 25-30 ವರ್ಷದ ಹಿಂದೆನೆ ಅವರು ಪ್ರಚುರ ಪಡಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಪ್ರಚಾರವಾಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಮನೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಪಾಟಲ್ಲೇ, ಈವನ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಪೋಟ, ಮಾವಿನ ಹಣ್ಣು ಎಲ್ಲ 15-20 ವರ್ಷದ ಮರ ಎಷ್ಟ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹಣ್ಣು ಬಿಡ್ತವೆ. ಪುಟ್ಟ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲೇ ನಾವು ಬೋನ್ಸಾಯಿಯನ್ನ ಬೆಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಣ್ಣುಗಳನ್ನ, ತರಕಾರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತಹ ಯೋಜನೆಗಳು ಇಂತಹ ತಜ್ಞರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಉತ್ತಮ ತಳಿಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಡೋದ್ರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಇರುವ 1 ಎಕರೆ ಭೂಮಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆಯನ್ನ, ಅದು ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟದ ಬೆಳೆ, ಆಹಾರ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳನ್ನ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋಂಥದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಚಿಂತನೆ ಆದ್ರೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪರಿಸರದ ಕಾಳಜಿ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅರಣ್ಯ ಸಂಪತ್ತನ್ನ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಸೋದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸುತ್ತದ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತೆಂಗು, ಅಡಕೆ, ಮಾವು ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಚಂದನ, ರಕ್ತ ಚಂದನ, ತೇಗ, ಟೀಕನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಹೆಬ್ಬೇವು ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ ಹೆಬ್ಬೇವನ್ನ ಬೆಳೆಸೋದ್ರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಮಳೆ ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುಕೂಲವಾಗೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಹಸಿರು ಕಾಣೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಧ್ಯದ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಹಾರ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ತಳಿಗಳನ್ನ ಬಳಸಿ ಬೆಳಿಬಹುದು, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ರೈತ ಹೀಗೆಲ್ಲ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಗಾದೆ ಹಬ್ಬೋಗಿದೆ, ನಾ ಸಾಯ ನೀ ಸಾಯ ಮನೆ ಮಂದಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸಾಯ. ಅರ್ಥಾತ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಬೇಸಾಯ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಲಾಭದಾಯಕವಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಏನೋ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಪಾಡಿಗೆ ಜೀವನ ನಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋಕ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಇಂತಹ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ 1/2 ಎಕರೆ ಇರ್ಲಿ 1 ಎಕರೆ ಇರ್ಲಿ, ನೀವು ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಲಾಭ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. ಜೊತೆಗೇನೆ ಮಿಶ್ರ ಬೆಳೆ ಪದ್ಧತಿಯನ್ನ, ಹೈನುಗಾರಿಕೆ ಪದ್ಧತಿಯನ್ನ, ಸಾವಯವ ಕೃಷಿ ಪದ್ಧತಿಯನ್ನ, ಆರೋಗ್ಯದಾಯಕವಾದದ್ದು ಮತ್ತು ಲಾಭದಾಯಕವಾದದ್ದು ಎರಡೂ ಪದ್ಧತಿಗಳನ್ನ ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಇಂಥ ತಜ್ಞರುಗಳು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಇಂತಹ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹುಶಃ ಈ ವಿವಿಧ ರೀತಿಯ ಬೆಳೆಗಳನ್ನ ಇರುವ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಬೆಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶವನ್ನ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಟುಂಬಗಳನ್ನ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಸ್ಥ್ಯವನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸಂಶೋಧನೆ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತಹ ಗಿರಿಗೌಡ ಸರ್ ಅವರು ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಒಂದು ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಕೊಡುವಂತ ವಿಚಾರ. ಆ ವಿಚಾರವಾಗಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಬೆಳಕನ್ನ ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀಡಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕೋರಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಒಪ್ಪಿಕೊಂಡು ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಂದಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಕೊಡುವಂತ ವಿಚಾರ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ತುಂಬು ಹೃದಯದ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸದಾ ಬೆನ್ನೆಲುಬಾಗಿ ನಿಂತಿರುವಂತಹ, ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೂ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಬೆನ್ನೆಲುಬಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳು ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಜರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಂದಿ ಸರ್ ಅವರು, ಅವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಈ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆಗಳನ್ನ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕರೆಗೆ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆಯನ್ನ ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ನವಮಣಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಅವರು ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈ ಒಂದ್ ದಿವಸ ಬಿಡು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಜರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮತ್ತು ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಟ್ರೆಜರರ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಆಡಳಿತ ಮಂಡಳಿಯ ಯಾರೇ ಇರಬಹುದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ಗೆ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹದಾಯಕವಾಗಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಸಹಕಾರ ಬೇಕೋ ಅವೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರನ್ನು ನಾನು ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಮರಿಸ್ತಾ, ಈ ಒಂದು ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ ನ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನವನ್ನ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ದೇಶದ ಮೂಲೆ ಮೂಲೆಗಳಿಂದ, ಹೊರ ದೇಶಗಳಿಂದ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿರಿಯ ಕಿರಿಯ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕ ಮಿತ್ರರನ್ನ ನಾನು ಅಭಿನಂದಿಸ್ತಾ, ನನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ವೇದಿಕೆಯ ಅಧ್ಯಾಪಕ ಮಿತ್ರರನ್ನು ನಾನು ಅಭಿನಂದಿಸ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಸ್ತಾವಿಕ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
Thank you, Prema Madam, for this wonderful keynote address. Now I request Dr. Girigowda Chaluvaraju, sir, to take over and proceed with today's session. Sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. I will show the screen in few minutes. I'm very happy today. If I see the lot of ladies teachers, I'm remembering all my teachers. Thanks for making my day very magical. So it's a very wonderful opportunity for me to see all of you. Also appreciate all of your efforts to make these type of webinars, which is kind of unique, and yeah, it helps young professionals. I'm also happy so that I can go back to my nostalgic experiences. So thank you very much, and also for the nice introduction, and also Gayatri Madam spoke to me and invited quite some days back. I also have something shyness today because I was speaking to Madam, keeping the students in the mind. So when I got the call, I thought, okay, I can share my experience with the students where they can reflect about my journey and they can motivate themselves. Botany is not a subject which people can ignore or they neglect, or they feel that that is not a right subject. So I wanted to give examples, and me as example, botany is also a great subject. So that was the intention, but lately I understand it is a multidisciplinary faculty team, which is very great. I think that's the shyness for me. You are all learned people, which is also difficult for me. because my area is very limited. So I will try my best. After hearing the content of the other topics and health and environment related, I try to tweak the presentation a little bit to also to make the general audience. I will try my best. I also liked very much Prema Siddharaju madam said very clearly about the present situation of agriculture. Probably I may not address everything, but I will just give a general trends, what is happening. I'm always open to speak about agriculture in any webinars or any discussions in the future. I love to do that. So with this, I will show my screen. In between, if any internet trouble or something, I will come back. I try to keep 2 internet connection besides me. This is my day-to-day job. I always do. I speak to 20 countries every day. I frequently get these internet problems. Don't mind, stay connected if I disconnected. So with this, I will share my screen. Let me know when you are able to see my screen now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, thank you. And this is purely my personal reflection, whatever I share. That's the rule we have. It's not representing a company opinion. I am working as a global head of seed production in one of the reputed, the second largest seed company of the world called Anhems. So I prepared a content. As I said earlier, my intention was more to the young professionals, and the goal was to reach out to students to inspire them to study botany and also take some examples from my life. So maybe it's a repetition of what Gayatri madam already said, but don't think that I'm trying to explain about me. It's not the purpose. I wanted to take you through the journey as a kind of a grow talk, which there are young professionals in the call, like there are research students in the call, think about, not necessarily to follow always my path, because there are several great people than me to follow. You have your teachers, you have the role models, but generally we do that in the industry as a growth talk. When someone achieved in some small accomplishment, a small goal achievement, we'll put them on the stage and ask them to speak about themselves, about a growth talk, what the challenges and how they come to in the life. So that's what I'm going to do under the title Aspire to Inspire and Countryside to Countries. I will explain briefly, a little bit repetition of what Gayatri madam said. Then I don't explain about the botany, but I will try to explain some trends. What are the impactful areas for the young professionals, teachers to motivate the students? Then I just give a glimpse of the recent trends of the agriculture, which may not be very much relevant only in India. In India, some examples we can see, and yeah, global developments. So then I will come back to, again, focusing on the students, and also as a teacher, you can take a note of that, so that how you can motivate and make the career development of your own students. So I will bring those things also as per, based on my experience of industry, what are the things as a career path, what the things you need to do. That's a stake. It basically skills, talent, education, experience, knowledge, and quality. Then if there is time left, I am open to answer any questions related to the career in the botany and also about the agriculture industry, which is my area, especially seed industry. Yeah, this is just tell about my story. As madam said, yes, she said about my education, but probably like all of you and most of the students, I came from a small village where very recently buses start going. There was no transportation. I used to walk 2.5 3 kilometers plus from class 5th to go to school. Only till 4th standard we had a school at that time. I born to a small agriculture family. You can see the right side, the top, my father and mother doing my PhD. So the journey started there with a lot of difficulties, challenges. Farming is not the lucrative, as madam said. Yeah, I experienced that. I joined some high school. Every time when I Of course, the fees at those time is not very high. Every time I need to pay the hostel fee, my father used to sell like one of the cattle, sheep or something. That's how my journey started. I came to Mysore to study the PUC. First time I wear a pant and there's a drizzling rains. I still remember. You can see the white pants. I started wearing it slippers first time in my life. So those memories. I started like everybody, every student. What I mean to say, nobody is come from the luxury, and don't think if you have that background, especially students, if you are studying botany, don't think you are in a wrong place. Tell that to students. They are in a right place. Only matters what you like to do, how you take it further in your life. I joined the botany and I studied in the University of Mysore, and then I done MPhil in technology, and I still remember all my students, and yeah, Professor Shetty was my PhD guy. After that, I joined a job after seeing that's what student has to take the note. You focus on your job, focus on what you need to do. People observe you. The people observed me. My professor used to observe me in during my MPhil, and he asked me to join as a skilled helper. I joined as a 900 rupees salary at that time. That was 1997. I worked there, and yeah, for the industry I joined in 2003 as a seed pathologist. First time. It's also strange. People from botany can be considered in the seed industry. It's all about how you build your connection, how you build your rapport, how you build your network matters to get into the different aspects. Sometimes there is a feeling from the botany students and botany faculty community that nothing works in the botany. There are agriculture disciplines, there are the biotechnology disciplines. They don't value the botany. To tell you, there's several people excelling in the area of biotechnology in the agriculture coming from the botany. It's not necessarily only from the agriculture. And then that journey started, and I became head of production. Today I'm global head of production. I have ambition, just to share. People has to have ambition, and yeah, I want to lead a full business unit. Today I'm only leading the production, and one day I need to start. There is, if the God helps, to start my own business of agribusiness. So what that does mean, I said in the introduction, countryside to countries. I never had a dream in my life that I travel these countries. Today, the people reports to me from these countries, and I never had a dream. Even till recently, we used to walk miles together to get the bus. So my parents never had any idea. You don't need to be have a big background. You don't need to have a godfathers. It's all needed willpower. It's all needed your consistent efforts. But today I'm responsible for global seed production, which almost 21 countries I interact. Till my day starts a little bit late, 11 o'clock, because Europe has to wake up, and of course China will start early. Then my day ends around 12 o'clock in the night, which I interact with the several people. Most of the countries showed in the presentation, I travel intensively. Of course, because of the Corona, COVID, there are travel restrictions. Of course, till December, I don't travel. But these are the countries I interact with the team. I develop the business strategy there. We have the production locations. The greatest thing, the passion I get from this job is I am able to speak to the remote farmer of every country. I don't speak to the high-tech people of this country. I speak to the farmers of every of this country. Of course, the farmer of USA is not less than any high-tech person. It is completely different if you compare to the Ethiopia. They are same as Indian farmers. So I have this wide experience. So this is about my growth story. The message from here to the young students and also young teaching faculty, bring that inspiration to the people and to take the botany as a career. And it's not that botany only helps them. It's all how you put into the perspective helps the people. With that, my growth talk, I will move to really what is the plant science. I don't need to tell what is botany. You all, the botany teachers in the call, knows that very well. Botany is a very broad and a pure science. It deals with smallest bacteria to largest trees. And more than any scientific fields, botany has a wide range of opportunities. It continues to provide that diverse opportunity because there are several specialities and career opportunities it might bring in. That there's always a demand for the plant scientist. Don't think that there are the disciplines available. Agriculture is there, horticulture is there. You don't get. It's myth. It's all how you bring that into the visibility and how you take the career into perspective. And the more fulfilling, somebody said also in the introduction, it gives a fun. Working with the plants gives a fun. And also you have ability to contribute to the society. Today, the farmers' problems, the society problems, pandemic, the essential commodities, the food security, these are all, and the environmental pollution, sustainable growing. You are going to be a part of the societal problem solving process. So you will play a big role in sustaining the earth and the life. It's a fascinating subject. So you can be a part of all these solutions, and fundamental study of the plant and applied aspects of the plant science. If you combine with the interdisciplinary subjects, I will bring those interdisciplinary subjects in the next slides, will give you the opportunity. There are several scientists today stay abroad. They all approached after botany, they gone for some certificate courses. They reached out to the universities across the world. They got the opportunities to go to the interdisciplinary areas like seed technology or biotechnology to do PhD or the next courses. So then those interdisciplinary courses will be much effective if you have a background of plant science compared to the other direct applied sciences like agriculture and all. So what matters is how you translate your knowledge into the solution-based fields. That's very important in the plant science. So to little bit, I Googled what that means in the current situation, the plant science. I think the plant science and the related aspects and trends has a huge impact on the society. Your research, your discussion with the students, or if the students in the call, to think about what are the impactful topics to the current society, to try to stimulate those discussion in the student community, in the plant science community, to think about to do the research in those aspects. Encourage to think beyond in our own sphere. So we become complacent over the years. I become complacent in my job. It's quite natural for anybody, but the time has gone. There's no place for the complacency. You have to think beyond what you are doing. So you have to think beyond to motivate your students beyond what you are doing in your own sphere of life. So you listed the importance of the potentials of the plant science to pursue the study. So there, the research priorities and challenges continuously change today. Because of the pandemic, the whole world completely turned around. So what you need to do, you have to connect to the right people, right world. You have to collaborate, build that collaborative relationship, help the students and the young professionals to build that collaboration, to raise the funding, and create an interest in these new trends. To little bit speak about what are the impactful areas. You can have a lot of impact to the society because by 2050, the world population going to be 9 billion. There is a food security. I will come back on that in more detail in the coming slide. The food security, you have to produce more with the less resources of land, water. The climate change, today, the temperature, the rain pattern is changing. And the energy crisis and urbanization, the 2.5 million people will move to the towns and cities in the coming 10, 15 years. And there is a problem of environment and health, which is specifically the topic of your webinars. There is artificial intelligence, there is a digitalization, the boom in the world. So these are the areas you have to focus in your interactions, in your studies, if you want to pursue your career and bring that motivation in the young professional. If you speak about in the environment and adaptation side, the research and the areas, the several industries and the research institutions are working on the productivity of the plants, how seed can store for a long time, what is the dormancy, how you can control the flowering, and how the plant can tolerate the heavy metals, salt tolerant, and how you can utilize the plants to reclaim the degraded land, how you do the clever farming. These are the areas when you speak about the adaptation of the plant system. If you think about the plant interactions, plant microbe interactions, are the another area you have to think, and you have to Google it, you have to research, you have to read how you can control the pests and pathogens, how the plant and mycorrhiza can associate. Mycorrhiza is the fungi which has a lot of benefits which the research is less done. So those are the areas, and also connected to that, how the nitrogen fixing relationship, the plant and microbes. These are the future areas are contributing to the solutions of the future society. And also, if you speak about the plant cell biology, there are the trends of molecular biology. What are the composition behavior of the plant cells, which is also leading to the programming of the gene of the cell, and how the photosynthesis just not a theory now. I think photosynthesis process in the plant system is being exploited, how the energy of the sun can be channelized the right way. And I will touch upon those trends. And algae is being used as a lot of industry applications. These are the areas in the plant science you can always focus. Not necessarily you need to go to agriculture or biotechnology, horticulture, microbiology. You can still do. That's the value of the plant science and botany. It's a broader. It don't restrict you. So, but you can find your passion, and where you get the opportunity, you focus there. And also, if you speak about diversity of the world, how the climate change impacting on the plant habitats. Several crops are not possible to grow today. Several plants are not possible to grow because the climate change. And today we are changing our production to the different worlds, different countries, because some countries we are getting floods very frequently. So how the biodiversity impact, how you can conserve biodiversity. You can predict planting these type of crops, and having the township or industry, you can predict what's going to happen in the future. This is the science is coming up. You think about these type of impactful topics if you want to create an interest and career in the science of the plants, and how different plant phenotypes behave. These are the general trends I took up just to bring the perspective that there are the opportunities in the plant science if you want to make an impact for the society, which is also has a powerful, effective influence on your own career. So coming back, I understand, I tried to do that yesterday. Since it is a multidisciplinary team, I should also focus a little bit on the general audience and to bring a new trend, not focusing only on the students and preaching. Don't think that I'm preaching, but I also then thought, okay, let me bring some new insight. Then I picked up a topic, future farming. We call agriculture 4.0. It's equivalent to the industrial revolution of 4.0. This is a very high level, broader glimpse. So I am open to come back again on any of these topics to explain to any of you if you want. But today I will just go through a very general aspects of future farming. And that you can relate that how plant science has an impact. It's also has a relationship, not necessarily only agriculture students can do that, only biotechnology can do that. You as a botanist can also do that. So United Nations Convention said by 2030, the sustainable development of the world there is a commitment. We need to end the hunger. Are we close to end the hunger? Today, roughly 800 million people worldwide suffer from hunger. If you don't do anything, still in 2030, 8% of the world population, that's around 650 million people still malnutrition. So if the legacy agriculture model continues, you don't get the solution. What is the legacy agriculture not helping? The demographics, population growth, urbanization is happening very rapidly. The natural resources, land, water, are shrinking. You cannot use any more land and water. Then you make this earth unusable for our future generations. Climate change, because of all these changes, because of the pesticides we use, because of the abuse of the environment, climate change is already in place. And another aspect is we are wasting the food a lot. By 2050, there is a need of more food of around 60 to 70%, because 9 to 10 billion people are going to be there compared to the today 6 to 7 billion. And 2.4 billion people going to stay in the towns and cities. There will be a migration, whether you like it or not, that's the fact of the life, that's going to happen. So this climate change also will affect every aspect of food production. It's increasing variability of the rain pattern, and the floods are coming. So it continue to contribute to the long-term environment problems. Groundwater is depleting, soil degradation is happening. It is going to affect the agriculture. Between 33% to 50% of our foods globally is never eaten. And the value of this wasted food is more than 1 trillion. And this wasted food, we are wasting 33 to 50% of the food today globally, utilizing 25% of the fresh water. You see, the food waste is also another issue. 65% of the people by 2050 lives. Today, it's 54%. So in 2000, as per 2014, maybe there are plus and minus. So another worrisome factor is the GDP contribution from agriculture is decreasing. The labors in the agriculture are dropping. In the developed world, 31.8% drop of agriculture labors, 32.8% of drop in the developing countries. What I mean to say, the future agriculture is going to be different. You cannot depend on the labors a lot. And the future agriculture, you cannot depend on the water. You cannot use the land anymore. So that is not possible. You cannot abuse by applying the fertilizer and pesticide. We already done a lot. And what is the solution? That's why 4.0 agriculture thought about that. The innovation, producing more, producing efficiently with the less resources is the only way. But what are those? There are several things are happening. Maybe 3D printing of food, cultured meat, and genetic modification, seawater agriculture. These are also thought about, but they are not contributing very well. If you want to do this innovation and completely think agriculture 4.0, there is a need of 275 billion US dollar investment. So this is the perspective why the future farming is not sustainable. So that's why agriculture 4.0 globally thought. What is that agriculture 4.0? It's maybe awareness and education. We can discuss a lot how it is relevant to the India. That's not very much relevant, but the trends are coming, maybe not now, in the future coming. What exactly agriculture 4.0? The agriculture 4.0 is a technology revolution. In the 60s and all, there was a revolution. There was a the greener effects happened, and green revolution, and the irrigation system improved. We brought the fertilizer, pesticides, new varieties. That's all happened. So India also experienced the green revolution under the leadership of Swaminathan. Today, is this going to be sufficient? No. I think the yield level has stagnated. The yield per acre is very less if you compare to the US and other countries. The same rice variety in India is very less compared to the US. The productivity is decreasing. It's becoming complicit. So what that needs, then the new revolution has kicked off. So that should be green one. So you have to take technology into a heart and mind. So, and also you need to change our value chain system. The food scarcity can be solved by using a technology. The good news is that already the digital advancements and technology advancement in the other areas, not by the agriculture people, like IoTs, computer technology, has grown a lot. That is bringing some solutions to the agriculture. And agriculture technology startups are booming. Whole world is having a lot of startups on agriculture. That's opportunity future for anybody who study botany. And there are three general trends happening as a part of agriculture 4.0. You have to produce differently by using a new techniques. And also you have to prepare your food in an efficient way, which is useful to reduce the food waste and also available to the different countries, not depending on the other country. And also the cross-industry technologies. These are the three aspects put together become a agriculture 4.0. Under three headings, what is that? Under production differently is there are hydroponics, algae culture, bioplastic, desert agriculture, and seawater farming. And to produce the food differently, vertical farming, I will come back on the advice of vertical farming. Genetic modification, you can modify the genes of the cells of the plant for the different tribes. And also there are cultured meats and plant-based meats. So you don't need to sacrifice the animals to have a meat in the future. Of course, this technology is still in the fragile state that needs to improve. And you can culture your meat. And also now the consciousness of the animal meat and the health is increasing over the world. I think the vegetarian food preference is increasing in the US and European countries. So they are also going towards the plant-based meats. And also there is a new technology called 3D food printing. You can carry the food cartridges in the future. You can print your food. And also cross-industry technology, especially engineering, like Tesla. Tesla car is today reality. It was thought Tesla car is not a car technology. Tesla is a technology of IoTs, a technology of automobiles, technology of the information size. Everything put together became a Tesla. So this is about a Tesla in agriculture. You can bring drones, data analytics, and nanotechnology, artificial intelligence, blockchain put together to bring the solutions for the new agriculture world. So little bit to speak about how to produce differently. Hydroponics. So if you have any questions, we can discuss that later. Be ready, and also intimate me if you're not in between. I'm going through. If you don't hear and if you don't see the presentation, let me know. So hydroponics is a hydroculture. It's a method of growing plants without using a soil. I think today hydroponic kits are available. You can grow plant in your home. I think that needs to be still revolutionized. That should evolve further. But that's a growing of plants without using a soil. Algae is becoming an industrial opportunity now. You can develop a cosmetics from algae. You can produce biogas, bioethanol, biodiesels, and you can produce a plastics from the algae. And you can have a feedstock for the animals. You can also have algal fertilizer. If you walk into the Apollo medical shop anyway, you have a huge number of algal products today, which is health beneficial. Then bioplastics. Bioplastic is biodegradable. Use the plant material partly or fully to create the containers today. That's another way of producing using the waste. If I speak about seawater and desert agriculture, see the example here. It is from the Middle East. They use the seawater to create the energy and the humidity in the net house, in the farming structure. Then that humidity will be created. That humidity will give a fresh water. They condense the fresh water. They use it for the plant. This is how the trend is changing. The Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and the Arabian countries, maybe future they produce their own food. Today they're depending on import. We have a used land, desert land. We have a used sea. We don't need to use the fresh water. So Singapore and these type of countries are thinking how to utilize this seawater and make agriculture. These are just glimpses. I am not going to the full details. Of course, it takes a lot of time. Then if you speak about the technologies of the food production, so like gene modification, you can change a plant cell to give a different flavor, different color, different protein. And it can also change the plant cell to have a product, have a resistance to the particular. This is the CRISPR-Cas technology. It's worldwide being debated. Like GMO was the past, now they call gene editing, gene modification. Europe regulations say no, and US say go ahead. And it is being discussed in other parts of the world whether gene modification is legal or illegal, it is ethical or not ethical. Those discussions are separate. But what I'm saying, the technology feasibility is there. You can bring a new flavor if the consumer wants it. If you bring the health benefits to the tomato, if the consumer wants it, it's a matter of investment. It's a matter of technology and acceptance. If you speak about cultured meat and plant-based meats, I think you can culture the meat by the tissue culture technology. Of course, there are some firms in the Europe and the US who work on these. They are already offering some solutions, but it's not widespread yet. I think there are also ethical discussions going on these type of things. And plant-based system. The picture here is the right side and the top. It's also based. It has the same protein. It has a same nutrient of the animal meat, but that derived from the plant basis. They will process it in a way that you will taste exactly like a meat. So this is a new trend now. This is also agriculture 4.0. 3D food printing. The picture here is you can design a layers of the food ingredients can be printed in a layer by layer, and the design you want or the ingredients you want. This will be especially useful for the space research and also for some people if they want to design their food. But they are all in the experimentation stage, and also some companies offering some food cartridges in the European world. Vertical urban farming, it's quite advanced already. Today, Dubai and Abu Dhabi, they can grow their plants because the LED lights invention, giving exactly if you want the Indian environment in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, if you want the Indian environment in Europe, you can create it inside the wall. You have the same lighting, and you don't need to use the soil. You can grow the crop, and that's what the urban farming. And because of the pandemic and the political reasons, maybe one day if you don't get the food from the other countries, Singapore and the Middle East countries are a bit worried, and they are starting their own infrastructure to create the urban farming facilities and vertical farming facilities. In our own company, we have the indoor farming facilities where we do the research for the India and for China sitting in the Netherlands. We create the artificial conditions mimicking any environment. These are the new technologies, how you can produce and the food. Little bit to speak about the IT technology to the agriculture that helps for the precision agriculture. What that precision agriculture is, today you are just spraying your chemicals without knowing whether the plant needs that chemical or not. Maybe in the use field, the few plants are infected, few plants are not infected, but you are spraying to the entire plot. You don't need to do it. If you put a drone or if you put a IoT, the sensor, it will automatically tells you you have to spray in exactly the particular locations, only spray there. So that's the precision agriculture. Then if you're growing in a 10 acres of land, maybe part of the land is very fertile and part of the land is not fertile. But you have to differentiate your efforts. You don't need to invest your money to the fertile land. You have to invest on the non-fertile land. So this is all about precision. You have to be precise of your investment in the land. So that is possible. Internet of things, like you put a sensor. So today we put the sensor, we will get the alarm when the plants need the water. Based on the biology and the response of the plant, that automatically sends the signal to on the water system, drip irrigation. So those are, and automation. A lot of things needs to automate it. As I said, the world is going to be urbanized in the future. You have to have a remote. You have to have these sensor-based things so that you don't depend on the labors. And data-driven. If you have a data, artificial intelligence is today, if you have a data of your own crop, how your crop grown in the particular environment, in this month to April to May in 2016, this was the temperature and the humidity. This was the yield of the tomato. Then in 2017, the same plant grown in this climate. Then after 4 years, artificial intelligence put all the data together that tell you are going to get this exactly the situation in this year. This is going to exactly the efforts you need to do to save your crop. So this is what the data-driven farming. Chartboards, like if you go to the internet today, you're booking your flights or booking your buses or train tickets, the chartboards come, can you help? Those things will come. The days are already near. Farmer will get that. If you are searching for something, if you take a photograph of a particular plant showing that disease, then chatbot will come. Can I help you? This is this disease. So these type of things are happening. Drone technology. So you of course, drone technology has to further develop in India, but in other countries, it's gone already to a larger extent. And blockchain. Blockchain is, you can also trace and find out where your food, where you grown from. Today, because of the COVID, in some countries, people are very much worried about where the food is coming from. It's safely produced, hygienically produced. The blockchain today, that was the cryptocurrency, and it was in the finance to make the investment. Now the blockchain also gives a solution. You can trace this food, these fruits are produced exactly from this village. That type of trace is possible, and you can secure your production. So, and nanotechnology is all about using less small particles. You don't need to use chemicals. I think in the past, the green revolution done with spraying chemicals, fertilizer. Today, the nanoparticles in these pesticide and fertilizers will precisely apply with a less molecules and less efficiency. You don't need to spend a lot of money on pesticide and fertilizers. These are happening because of the industry revolution in other areas outside of the agriculture, but we are integrating that into the agriculture. These are the general aspects of agriculture 4.0. But there are concerns. This may be already developing, but it's not in the full scale in every country. And also sometimes it is a very vague and poorly defined. Is it really same as the industrial revolution? And is it really applicable for every countries? And this is very specific example. This can be globally implemented. These are discussions that are going on. Maybe we need a agriculture 5.0 taking into consideration. And also this agriculture 4.0 and whatever I explained may go to the hands of few investors. So producing more, producing efficiently is guaranteeing our food security? Not. Maybe it is also depriving the marginalized countries and community to get the food. So how this technology to transform into the reality needs to be discussed. This is I tried to put the general trend to the general audience. I will come back on the plant science career opportunities. So plant science career opportunities is something government, I don't need to tell to all of you. You all know what are the opportunities. You can write competitive exams, civil services, teaching, all other aspects. If you have intelligence, you need to have intelligence. On top of that, good luck, you need to have a lot of other things. So let us not speak about that. Then industry and research companies, the drug companies, oil industry, chemical industry, in agriculture, seed and nursery companies, chemical and fertilizer companies, biotechnology, food growers and food companies. The several biological control products companies are there. Pharma, some of them are highlighted. Why? I have friends, I know some of them, they studied a botany. They are in these areas. Like I know one pathologist, his expertise in plant pathology, Dr. Vasant Kumar. And I know a scientist, Dr. Prakash, stays in US. He's from botany. He's a well-known biotechnologist in the world, but his background is botany. I have a friend studied botany. He's a regulatory affairs head for one of the pharma company. What I mean to say, this botany will give you a perspective about the life science. You can further take care as an interdisciplinary after MSc or BSc. You try to do some courses or do the PhD or get the good connection. You can always go to the different levels. Yeah, you can be called as agronomist, biotechnologist, plant journalist, plant breeder, whatever you wanted to be called, you can if you study the botany. And startups. Startup is a new opportunity. Botany is the right subject to become a startup. You can experiment everything under the life science area. So these are the opportunities. You know all these things. You can get this in the internet. I don't need to specify a lot, but little bit to speak about how to achieve the success. I prepared this aiming to the student community and younger person. But success is not a straight line. That's my experience. It can be a different line, but at the end, you have to go through this different line. That's the success. You have to pay for it. You have to work for it. You have to dream big. Sometimes people dream big, chase it without putting the mind on it. Chasing is not necessarily you have to only look for your dream job. Chasing is also to serve others' dream. There are several people, industries and officials, your own seniors have something achieved. So you have to serve them, involve, take a ownership what you do. That's what for me chasing a dream is. Sitting idle or sitting till the dream job comes to me. You have to make a step. You have to start serving others' dream by doing small work and involving. That's how we have to get. Passion is sometimes people say that you have to follow your passion. My personal experience, that's also for the young professionals, you have to tell, you have to develop the passion where there is opportunity. Sometimes I have a passion for photography. That's fine, I should have it, but that don't bring me money and food. So passion is something you also should get what opportunity. But how to develop the passion is you have to read a lot, learn as much as you can in that area, what you adopt. Learning is a never end. And we have to show willingness to always fail and invest time on right things. What I also suggest to the young professionals, that's what I did. You have to start job search, not maybe informally, but formally, and also informally sometimes. Reach out to someone. And meantime, you have to work out about SEEK. What is the SEEK skills, talent, your education, experience, so knowledge and quality helps. So little bit to further on path to succeed, whether you are a student or a young professional or teacher, it's me, it's applicable. The dynamism is very important for every one of us. What is the dynamism helps? If you are dynamic, you will create a support system. You will network with the right people. You will get the right coaching. You will get the industry connections. It's applicable wherever you are. You have to become active and volunteer in your own professional environment. And you have to support your activities and you have to support your work by participating in one. And also, yeah, generally the first step is depends on our education, but we cannot find the perfect job always based on our education. What is important, you have to pursue, you have to take a first step. But generally for students, also for any other subject, try to make some internship projects for every student. The best way to increase the chances of securing job is to have some practical internship. There are some industries, institutes available. They can provide the internship program. If they don't pay, that's fine. But go to those internship programs, take a project activities so that you can build the connection. You know that industry well. Then you will start building your career. You don't need to worry about the plant science you study. So what is the STEEK? STEEK is, there are needs, each job or industry, college, institute, every opportunity has a different needs that will change time to time. Those are the needs. Based on your needs, you have to continuously work on these things about the skills. Maybe your hard skills are technical know-how and your ability to do the things you get from your career or from education. The most important is also soft skills. How you present yourself, what is the personal habits, traits, that how you work yourself, and also how you work with others. How you work with others is very important. If you are not able to communicate, if you don't able to build the relationship, you will never succeed. That's my experience. And talent is something which comes easily for you because you have some instinct, natural ability to do that. It also comes from your interest, hobby, passion. See those talents to be utilized in the right way. Education is important. You will get MSc, PhD, MPhil, this education. But that is not going to be a differentiator for your performance unless you work on the stick. And also you have to do some certificate courses and PhDs sometime if you need to go next. Then experience, that's what I said. Maybe in the beginning as a student, you don't have experience, but that's a continuous journey. You can go for some projects, internship, community works. You can create your own product, your own concept, and to tell the world that I have this experience. And knowledge is very important. That's a continuous journey. We have to accumulate the facts, information, and data always. Quality is something also very important. If anybody grown in any area, these qualities are important. Without these qualities, it's very difficult. So compassion, sympathy, empathy about others, kindness towards others, you feel gratitude. Today I feel gratitude. I'm able to see teachers on this webinar. It is possible because God has given me some help to reach to this stage someone reached. That's the gratitude we have to respect. That gratitude, if someone achieves something, if they don't have a gratitude why they came to that level, you will never achieve. I became global today because of somebody helped me. That is the gratitude. We all should have it. That's my belief. And humility, patience, our own self-awareness, what I am fit for, what I'm not fit for. Sometimes we have ego, arrogance that will not get us anywhere. And discipline. These are the qualities. These are the one time? No, it's a lifetime journey. That's what I see. Little bit to tell about the students. You have to get your job, dream job, you have to do your personal branding. You help the students to tell this story. What is the personal branding is? First of all, we have to understand ourselves. We have to tell our story often to the people very nicely. This is what I am. So you have to update your resumes now and then. Clean up your social media accounts. The employer will see your social media. If I go to the today US visa, he will see my Facebook and LinkedIn before he issue the visa to me, because they find out your social connection, they find out your behavior, what type of contacts you have, what type of behavior you have, what is your attitude, mindset. So be careful. The world has been changing. Nothing is secret on this earth today. There are the time come, they can understand every of our personal life in a different ways. To clean up if you want to be serious on your career and serious on your personal image, you have to clean up your social media. And also you have to create your own portfolio of characters, portfolio of your tribes. So do some volunteering, involve in your professional societies, and that helps you. And also do internship projects. Keep trying, keep applying. So the recruitment is also not easy. They will try to assess you differently. They try to assess you your core competencies. They try to assess your behavior. There are assessment centers. Try to be unique. You don't go to a general trend of giving someone develop your CV. I receive tens of CVs. They all have the same format. They all say, I am open to work. I am honest. Honesty is the fundamental thing. Every human being should have it. But what you bring is special things to the company. You are able to explain. You have to have your own elevator pitch. If someone asks in the interview, CVO, what you bring to this company, you have to have an elevator. This is lacking in Indian education system. We don't prepare the people to elevate, to tell their story effectively, to participate in the meetings and dialogues effectively. We have a lot of the immense ability. From my own experience, I sit with the multicultural people. Their knowledge is no way equal to us, but the way they explain is completely different what we explain. So that's something you all have to develop. So little bit from my own experience, you don't need to dream always a big job. You start, there is an entry level foundation job in any industry. You just get into that. Like I became a seed health team lead. Then you will improve. If you want to, then there are two ways. One is you can be expert, that's the right side. If you want to go to the leadership position, I followed the left one. Now I little bit I forgot, and I always have a challenge when someone asks you to present technical aspects, because I'm more involved about the people, business. So, but you have to start with some opportunities, and yeah, have some mentors, have some interactions, develop the network. So start with something, and then you can grow in any industry. This is the general chart how people can grow in any industry. So this is the path to succeed, the career. I a little bit focused on the career. So with this, I think I come to the end, madam. Probably I was fast. I don't know. I am ready to the questions. I hope I made some discussions.
Thank you very much, sir, for the informative and motivational talk. Now the platform is open for interactive session. I request the participants to unmute and ask the questions.
Sir, stop presenting.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah.
So few questions have been posted by participants. With your permission, can I answer?
Okay, that's are in the chart here.
Yes, sir. How do invasive species get here, and why don't our native plants have resistance to these exotic pests?
I'm not able to get you, madam. What exactly?
Okay, I will read out once again, sir. How do invasive species get here, and why don't our native plants have resistance to these exotic species?
Yeah, voice is very breaking. I'm not able to hear the voice. I don't know. That's a connectivity.
So one more question.
You're speaking about investment.
Yeah, yes, sir. It is in the chat box. The questions are in the chat box, sir.
Maybe if I can see someone type it, because voice is breaking, madam.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Sir, I'm placement officer also of government college, and several companies that are coming to us to perform the job fairs. And how can we identify that it is a true company or real company or a fake company? Thank you.
Okay, I think you can approach. Yes, you can approach the companies sending. You're muted, madam.
Yeah. Tell me, sir. Yeah.
So the placement officers, if your placement officers approach the several industries, write a letter to the HR, so explaining the curriculum and the context, how the students have been coached and developed there. So how that is relevant to our industry, explaining that if that approach and that proposal go to the seed industry, several HR people, they always come back on that. I can also help there in our industry. I can be contacted by your placement officer to bring that to the next level. Yeah, I think that is possible. You can invite the companies to look into your institute.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
So here is a question. How do invasive species get here? And why don't our native plants have resistance to these exotic pests?
The resistance of the plants. Can you read out the question?
How do invasive species get here? And why don't our native plants have resistance to these exotic pests?
Invasive plants and invasive species get into our system by several ways. I think invasive plants, maybe we import food, we import seed, and we travel, and people always brings that. That's the one way of bringing, and also climate, like a locust pest come from the Africa. So these things will come, but our local variety is always more resistant to the invasive pest. But what happened now, we hybridized, we brought evolution and the new hybrids and all. Maybe those have some resistance to some pests, not to all. But we can focus on our own local species, maybe less yielding and not giving a much yield. But the hybrid can give invasive plants can give a better yield, but it has other disadvantages. It's all the discussions today in the agriculture system also, what you want to choose. There are trend is coming now. People want to grow on the varieties and local species, not the invasive or hybrid developed varieties. It's all a choice you have to make.
Okay, sir. Sir, there is one more question from Professor Farzana, madam. There is a lot of development of hybrids, but what about wild crops? There will be threats about deterioration of genetic resources of these crops. What are the steps taken by your seed industry to conserve these crops?
So yeah, to be honest, the seed industry always brings a lot of genetic resources from everywhere. The genetic resources have been increasing by the seed industries. We preserve the resources. The seed industry have the plant breeding program. Today we have a high yielding wheat, and this all we imported the genetic material from the other parts of the world. So we take that step to bring the right germplasm, but sometimes also it has a negative impact. Yeah, we also have to exchange the material to the others. So those are the commercial aspects. But seed industry also try to bring the new genetic material and to bring the new hybrids to help the farmers, also to make money. So it's also finance involved. So seed industries. Yeah, these days also changing their approach. Earlier they were only looking for the high yielding varieties and all, but these days also the consumers and the people who eat the food also thinks yeah, local varieties and all their genetic resources should be utilized only locally.
Okay, sir. There is one more question from Gayatri madam. Every village farmer throughout the world benefits from basic botany knowledge. How can students be trained?
That's a good question. The students can always have that enthusiasm. You have to create that enthusiasm. The lab to land program, I think students has to reach out. I also know botany students study plant, they don't know how the plant looks like sometimes. There are several, I'm not blaming the institutes. There are now, take my daughter example, we push her to study some agriculture. She never gone to the field so far. I think we need to create a practical based curriculum. That's what I speak about internship. If the farmer get the connection, interaction with the student. If you assign some project where farmer and student interact and develop a business model for particular crop, or we can also help farmer with a new knowledge, and we can learn from what the farmer is doing, understanding his business model, his crop. This type of interactive programs, which helps the students also to showcase that student to the industry. So that's all the creative steps to be taken to build that. That's not happening.
Okay, thank you, sir, for answering that question. Now, there is one more question. Is it true that in hydroponics, metal halides are used for vegetative growth and high pressure sodium for flowering?
It may be true. I don't know. This depends on the plant system and the solutions. And yeah, this is what the plant likes needs to be given to grow the plant. I don't think if the plant is growing through some chemicals and the fertilizers, maybe it is something important, but plants always not comparable to the other like animal food. If you eat the chicken, maybe you can put a lot of hormones and all, you will get into your system very easily. But growing the plant in the hydroponics, probably there are some elements and metals can be used, but if it is really needed to grow the crop, yes. But generally hydroponics is grown in a more sophisticated environment. Hydroponics are considered as one of the healthy plant growing method, which you can choose. There is always, you can do a research. Hydroponics cannot fit for one thing, cannot fit for everything. So you have to customize it, you have to experiment. So if you don't want to have a particular elements and metals, you can also do those. So that research to be done. But hydroponics is not harmful in my opinion. It's one of the best, safest way of growing the crop. Yeah. But I don't know what are all the elements and metals they use. They are very plant specific.
Okay, so one more question. Can you suggest suitable plants which can be grown by hydroponic methods?
I think today they grow the lettuce very easily, and the leafy vegetables are easily grown by hydroponics, and some solanum vegetables. And but more successful hydroponic is lettuce and spinach as of now. But there are also the researchers now, the hydroponics, the tomato can be grown. Yeah. So those things, if you Google it, you can get it easily. These are the plants. You can do also hydroponic experiment in your backyard.
Okay, so one more question, sir. Will gene replacement therapy affect the overall composition of plant nutrients?
Yes, gene modification is the purpose itself is to get the different trait you like. Like if you want to have a different protein in your food, and today the consumer preference is some proteins or some nutritional elements. Yes, you can do that. That's the vehicle, a tool. The gene modification and gene editing is always for the purpose of modification of your nutritional value, your shape of the fruit, the flavor of the fruit, flavor of your food, bring onto the table. You can have a different flavor of the rice, and you can have a different tasteful rice. This is all possible by changing the gene. It's like you change the script of your write-up, then you will have a different story. That's exactly, you change the script of your DNA by gene editing.
Okay,
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir, I am Dr. Jyoti from Department of Biotechnology.
Yes, madam.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Sir, I have a couple of questions for you. Yeah.
Yes, come, please go ahead.
My question is, how does the taste of hydroponic produce compare with soil grown produce?
I don't have experience, but I feel that there will not be a big difference in the taste. Like we are promoting these hydroponic in some countries. There's no difference in the taste.
Okay, and
hydroponics itself don't make the change in the taste.
Okay. Do you think people will accept it, sir? Will they not have any ethical issue? How many will try it?
Hydroponics is not have any ethical issues, because hydroponics is more producing with the less resources. When you have no land to produce in the country like Singapore, if your dependence is only on import, then hydroponics is easily acceptable. And if you know, the advantage of hydroponics is you can grow the plant by seeing on your own eyes. You don't need to worry about how the food grown and what type of chemicals added. Everything you can grow yourself. You can, these hydroponics will happen in the near cities. It's also urban farming. Yeah, and that's easily acceptable, and also consumers and retailers are accept it is easily transported. It's near to the cities, but only acceptance issue, the cost benefit ratio. If the cost benefit ratio is very important, if the consumer buys your hydroponic product, whatever you spend, that's very important. That may be a reason in India the acceptance is less, but the high value countries this can be easily accepted.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
I see another question: why apples cannot be grown here if we can do a proper arrangement here also for those plants from beginning? Yeah, you can grow an apple in one apple in a good structure. You can provide all the climatic conditions, but apple is a kind of a crop. You need a big orchard. You cannot bring that environment of chilling environment, and where the pollination and where the fruit setting, it needs a certain climate. So yeah, that's not possible. You can grow, plant will grow, but it will give a same size of apple and it will give a same yield. No, I think that some crops need, you have to provide us sufficient and the right ideal climate. For the crop like apple, you cannot do that in the laboratory condition or the artificial system. You cannot create. You can do for lettuce, spinach, and tomato, small crops. You can grow anywhere on the world, but apple cannot.
So here is one question. What carbon dioxide system is used in hydroponics?
I don't know, madam, to be honest. I can provide some literature to maybe to Gayatri madam about hydroponics. So that can be shared by madam.
Okay, sir. Thank you. One more question, sir. A participant is requesting you to highlight on the effects of genetic modification on nutrition and health of human.
Genetic modification is yeah, it's a psychological effect. Like Americans, they don't care your genetic modification, but Europe's care. They feel that that's a poison. We don't want it. But as a scientist, I don't see a big negative impact of the genetic modification. It's all societal and psychological feeling, and it don't affect negatively. Genetic modification actually to be used for the advantage. And yeah, now you don't need to modify the gene from the other species. That was gone, the GMO technology. You don't need to use the GMO technology. Now you can change the genetic modification. You can change the gene by editing the gene, by altering the gene. You don't need to put a external species gene into that. So that's what the gene editing CRISPR-Cas technology. With that, you have no negative effect, and nutritional value don't. As a scientist, I don't see, but okay, there is a debate. People don't accept it. It's a philosophical, psychological.
Okay, sir. So thank you very much, sir, for clarifying the doubts raised by the participants. Now I would call upon Srimati Naumani Madam, Principal of SJRPU College, to deliver the presidential address. Over to Naumani Madam. Madam. Naumani Madam, are you there?
Yeah, mom is there, but she's
Hello. I request Srimati Naumani Madam to deliver the presidential address.
ಚಂದ್ರಕಲಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
Okay, madam. Okay. So just a few minutes, sir.
No, madam, that's fine.
ಚಂದ್ರಕಲಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಫೋನ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
Okay, madam.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, can I ask my last question?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello, sir. So firstly, thank you for giving informative session. So my question is, as we know that seawater contains a large amount of salt content, is this sufficient for the growth of healthy plants, or is any procedures performed?
Madam, voice is breaking. Voice is breaking. Maybe you can type there, or you can try again, because voice something I'm not able to hear.
You said about seawater farming.
Yes.
As we know that seawater contains huge amount of salt content, sir. Is this sufficient for a growth of healthy plants, or is any procedure performed?
Seawater question you are asking.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what they do in some countries, they bring the seawater. They don't use it. Yeah, you cannot use the seawater for the plant. What they do, they will use the seawater to create energy, and in the greenhouses and all. So, and to create a humidity. So, but because of the humidity and created, because of that energy and the running through, that gives that humidity. That humidity is the water. They will condense that humidity, the pure water, and channelize into the plants through maybe a drip irrigation and all. That's the one method they are doing, to use the seawater for especially in the Middle East and those countries, to bring that water. Another area of research, also the breeding activities are going on. How the plants can tolerate the salinity, to what extent the plants can tolerate the salt. Can we develop a plant, the variety which tolerates to certain extent the salt? These breeding activities are working on, probably to bring the cultivation using the seawater. But those are all the research activities. But really using the seawater in some greenhouses and all, to use in the net houses and all, that energy created by that seawater creates the humidity. That humidity is the fresh water. That's the actual happening.
Thank you, sir. Sir, and my last question. In one of your slides, sir, you mentioned about land science career opportunities. There you said about civil services, sir. So how civil services connects botany?
Civil services, probably botany is the one of the subject most people prefer. There are several IFS, IAS officers who studied botany, and the agriculture commissioner of the past of Karnataka, probably you heard the name Subramanya. He was the IAS. He is the civil servant, but he was the botany student. So I mean, civil servants can be done. That's what I did not focus more on that, but there are the opportunities. Botany students also do that, but that's not because of the only plant science.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for clarifying the doubts of the participants. Now
Yes,
I
madam.
request Srimati Naumani Madam, Principal of SJRPU College, to deliver the presidential address. Over to Naumani Madam. Madam. Hello, Madam. You can speak.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ಚಂದ್ರಕಲಾ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಹೇಳಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಹೇಳಿ.
ಮೇಡಮ್ಗೆ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಅವರು ತುಂಬಾ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
Okay, shall we continue then, madam?
ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ ಕಲ್ಪನಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ನ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ. ಕಲ್ಪನಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಕಲ್ಪನಾ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಚಂದ್ರಕಲಾ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಹೇಳಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಹೇಳಿ.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರು ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್.
Okay, madam. Now I would call upon Srimati Kalpana Madam, Principal of SJRPU College for Women, to deliver the presidential address. Over to Kalpana Madam. Kalpana Madam.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ.
Okay, yeah. Respected Speaker of the Day, Dr. Girigowda Chaluvaraju, sir, and Principal Madam, Dr. Chaluvaraju, and the participants of today's program. I think suddenly Madam is asking me to deliver a presidential address. Maybe it becomes difficult for me, I don't know. Anyhow, sir, in the middle of the seminar, I had joined you. It came out very well and it was very interesting, and you spoke of culturing of meat, then hydroponics and all such things. Like in the future, if there is shortage of food, how the problem can be sorted it out. It was very interesting. So I don't know what happens, because most of the people from village, they are migrating to city side. Surely in future we may face food problem that has to be somehow sorted it out. So your speech was really very interesting, and thank you one and all for providing me an opportunity to preside over the function. Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Kalpana Madam, for your presidential address. Now over to Madam Rashmi, Assistant Professor from Department of Computer Science, to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to propose vote of thanks for today's session.
I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our resource person, Dr. Girigowda Chaluvaraju, Global Head Vegetable Seed Production at BASF, Hyderabad, for an informative presentation on plant science opportunities and path to succeed. Thank you, sir. I would like to extend my thanks to
ರಶ್ಮಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ ನೋಡಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ನವಮಣಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆದ್ರ ನೋಡಿ. ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ?
ಹಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಬಟ್ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ.
Shall I continue, ma'am?
ನವಮಣಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು ನೋಡಿ.
ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Unmute ಮಾಡಿ.
ಅನುಷಾ ಗೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅನುಷಾ ಗೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಹಲೋ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇದು ನಿಮ್ ಕರ್ಸರ್ ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಡಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಂತ, ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಪ್ರೇಮ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್
ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ?
ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಜಸ್ಟ್
ಸರಿ, ಬೇಡ ಬಿಡಿ, ಆಯ್ತು. ಕಲ್ಪನಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ರಶ್ಮಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ವೋಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ.
Ha, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to propose vote of thanks for today's session. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our resource person, Dr. Girigowda Chaluvaraju, Global Head Vegetable Seed Production at BASF, Hyderabad, for an informative presentation on plant science opportunities and path to succeed. Thank you, sir. I would like to extend my thanks to Srimati Naumani Madam, Principal of SJR Pre-University College, for presiding over today's session. Thank you, ma'am. And also I would like to thank Kalpana ma'am for presidential note. And I would like to thank Honorable President Mr. Shiv Prakash sir, Honorable Secretary Mr. N.R. Nandish sir, and Honorable Treasurer of SJRES Mr. Nataraj sir. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our beloved Principal Prema ma'am, Dr. Prema Siddharaju ma'am, for her support and encouragement in organizing this international FDP. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank our participants from various colleges across the country for making this event a grand success, and also my heartfelt thank to our fellow members of Scientia SJRCW for organizing, and also extend my thanks to technical support team of this FDP. Thank you one and all. Over to you, Chandrakala ma'am.
Thank you, Rashmi madam. Before we end the session, I request all the participants to switch on the video for photo session.
ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ, ನಾನು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ.
Anusha, okay?
Ma'am, they have to switch on their videos, ma'am. Only small number.
Participants, switch on your video for a second.
Yes, ma'am, done.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Plant sciences has made tremendous progress in recent years, and the only thing important today is to create public awareness and its potential for a healthy future. With this quote, I would like to conclude the session with the permission of resource person and principal madam. Sir, can we conclude?
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Chaluvaraju sir, thank you very much.
I thank all the dignitaries and the participants for sharing your precious time with us, and my heartfelt thanks to the technical support team of SJRCW. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.
Thank you. Very nice. So good efforts. Thank you.
Thank you
Okay,
very
we are
much.
sorry
sir.
for the glitch,
Thanks.
sir.